Hey, what's up, guys? No Rage here, and we've been doing a lot of Mad Max here recently. I've been really enjoying that game, but today we are back on the Marvel Heroes Test Center, taking a look at some changes coming in today's patch. From the top, we've actually got some patch notes here, some preliminary patch notes. Now, some of this may have changed, but I think it's all going in today. But let's just start from the top. We've got some increased drop chances for the boss specific items, things like the Gem of the Cursed and the Coat of the Skull from Red Skull and various other boss specific artifacts. Actually, I think Coat of the Skull is not, yeah, Coat of the Skull is not included in this, but all boss specific artifacts eventually will be getting some increased drop chances. Specifically in today's patch, we've got Kingpin's uniques, Doctor Doom's uniques, Curse, Mandarin, MODOK, Juggernaut, Magneto, Taskmaster, Manape, Mr. Hyde, Lizard, Overseer Slag's Mace unique, and Monolith Bow from, let's see, where does that come from? That's just in, yeah, the raid uniques in general, from Green and Red Muspelheim. Surtur, Fragment of Twilight has been increased in Red Muspelheim, and then some Axis stuff as well. The Essence of Jin, Mask of Goat, Mies Hardened Shell, and Stark Sentinel Adaptive Reactive Armor, as well as Red Onslaught's Medallion, have all had their drop chances increased. So, it's going to be much easier to find some of those best in slot boss specific artifacts. That's going to make farming for those a whole lot easier. Alright, in addition to that, we've got some updates for Luke Cage's uniques. Let me just show them right there. There you go. There's a look at all of his uniques that have been changed. Note his Disco Shirt and Mighty Buckle, I believe that's a slot 3, have not received any changes in this patch, but he does have a brand new slot 5 item. And then we've also got in the tuning corner, we've got Black Panther and Winter Soldier have received some sort of overall damage increases and tuning and all that. Let's just the Black Panther update is pretty extensive. Let's go ahead and hop in and have a look at each of his skills that have changed. Innervating Slash here has been converted from a basic to a spender. With a base cost of 6, the dot is now considered a bleed, so things like Matt's Arrowhead or whatever will restore spirit when that bleed ticks. Let's go ahead and go over here. Alright, so now you're going to be able to use this as your single target spirit spender, which is what a lot of Black Panther players have been doing already. It's just it was tagged as a basic before, so the damage was not very substantial. But now it is going to be a solid single target DPS option. Alright. Then we've got Slashing Lunge. The hitbox size has been increased to make the power easier to land on moving targets. Bonus damage has been increased to 60% per stack, and the knock duration no longer scales. So, Slashing Lunge right here, the way it works is you gain increased damage for each stack of Innervating Slash. So these two skills here will work together. You stack that dot, and then you hit with Slashing Lunge for increased damage. And that amount that it increases has been significantly increased from what it was before. So it is now going to be, something you actually want to use, as before, the damage bonus was not really substantial enough to warrant using Slashing Lunge in a DPS build. Most builds that I saw were going for just where's this skill over here? Yeah, Savage Strike was like one of their main spirit spenders, and they didn't even worry about doing the whole combo between Innervating Slash and Slashing Lunge. Then we've got Scything Sweep. The damage has been increased and fixed a bug in which it was not applying a stack of Innervating Slash's dot. Weaken duration is now displayed on the tooltip. So you can see it's got the weaken on there, and it's going to do some energy damage. Now oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. It's still got the incredible AoE that it had before, and it still applies the Innervating Slash, and I believe the damage still scales off of Innervating Slash's damage. So yeah, it applies 1 stack of Innervating Slash. You will have to increase the damage here if you want to increase the damage of that dot that Scything Sweep applies. Pretty cool. Alright, then we've got Fan of Knives. The spirit base cost has been increased to 15%, or 15, not 15%, 15. Now, did it always have this huge AoE? I feel like this is new. This is pretty great AoE. I don't know, that may or may not be a new thing, but it has gotten its spirit cost increased. Like, if he had AoE clear like that before and I never noticed it, I feel like that's something I would have noticed. I think that may be new. Cryo Dagger now applies the chill keyword to affected targets. Slow and splash damage radius increased, base cost decreased. Tooltip now shows slow duration, freeze duration no longer scales. Now converts triple throw into spirit spender. Base cost, wait. Cryo Dagger now converts triple throw into a spirit spender. Base cost 10 with 50% more damage for 8 seconds after activation. This allows you to choose whether triple throw is used as a spender or a basic on demand. Okay, this is really cool. Cryo Dagger. Triple throw gains 50% increase in damage and costs 10 spirit if used within 8 seconds of using Cryo Dagger. So you throw Cryo Dagger, and then your triple throw gets upgraded to a spirit spender, where it normally would be a basic. See there, it's a basic now, the damage has worn off, but 8 seconds after Cryo Dagger, it's a spirit spender. That's very cool, because the cooldown is 6 seconds, the duration on that buff is 8 seconds. So if you're using Cryo Dagger every 8 seconds, then you can use triple throw. You can do a ranged Black Panther now. You just got to use that Cryo Dagger every 8 seconds. That's actually very cool. I really like that. Alright. Then we've got Claw Slash, critical damage converted to critical and brutal percent bonus. So where's Claw Slash at? Yeah, we talked about triple throw. Alright, Claw Slash over here. Boom. Let's get all of these on the bar here. Alright, we'll get to that one. Claw Slash, the critical and brutal damage 10% is now just, it's a flat 10% instead of a flat amount, or rather it's a percent instead of a flat amount. It is still a basic, so you may or may not have use for it. And then we've got Predator's Frenzy, bonus versus bosses replaced with damage versus bleeding and increased attack speed while attacking bleeding targets. So Predator's Frenzy is right here. It's going to do physical damage twice per hit, or 2 hits of physical damage. It's going to do damage 20% against bleeding and 20% attack speed while attacking bleeding enemies. And then, of course, we know that... Let's see, does this apply a bleed? No, that's no bleed. This will apply a bleed. Savage Strike will apply a bleed. We know that Innervating Slash will apply a bleed. So let's use... there it is, Savage Strike there. That's going to cause... Where's the skill? Predator's Frenzy there. Okay, it's on 4. So if you Savage Strike him, then your attack speed with Predator's Frenzy is increased by a lot. That's really nice. That's given this tree a really awesome Spirit Spender. I like that a lot. Here, let's do that one more time. That's really cool. Alright, then we've got Savage Strike dot duration increased to 8 seconds. So that bleed will actually last a little bit longer. We've got Knockdown Sweep. Have they... the patch notes... There it is. There it is. Now gains 200% and 8-second cooldown if used within 4 seconds of Stealthy Escape. 3-second cooldown removed As a result, this allows it to be spammable AoE or a powerful burst damage power. So you can sit here and you can spam it like this, or you can use Stealthy Escape and get that. It does have an 8-second cooldown after using that, where it can be a huge burst damage power. Go in and then start off the battle with some nice burst damage. Alright, then we've got the Stealthy Escape itself now travels 50% further and faster if used 3 times consecutively. Oh, I see. That's really cool. Let me do this. So normally, where's Stealthy Escape? There it is. Normally, it's just a quick dodge roll, right? Can't really go too far. But if you use it 3 times, now you've got a really nice travel power that really gets you some distance if you're trying to get across Midtown real nice. They should do this with like every dash in the game, every dodge roll in the game. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Then we've got Panther Leap. Also travels 50% further and faster if used 3 times consecutively, similarly to Panther Leap right here. This one's a little bit harder to use because it's a leap and gets caught on stuff, it seems. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, that's really nice. Then we've got Blessing of Bast, power removed, and passive affixes merged with Panther Soul and Panther Grace. Panther Grace inherits the cleanse functionality, and Spirit on hit affix. Panther Soul gains minimap radar. Tenacity has been removed. Here we go. Here's the Panther Soul, giving you that damage negated, 20% damage negated. Nice. Damage rating, damage versus enemies not targeting you, and defense and maximum health, and a little bit of regen. Now we talk about this Unseen Predator, a little bit of crit hit rating, and will be activated to conceal your team, yourself and your team. I think we've touched on everything in this tree. Then we've got, here we go, Panther Grace, getting a little bit of that Blessing of Bast benefits, giving you a little bit of crit rating, crit hit rating, dodge, attack speed, and move speed, and projectile deflection chance. Restore 2 spirit when you strike an enemy. And it's also got your CC breaker here, so you'll want to slot that on your bar somewhere for that active effect. Then we've got Jungle Snare. Clarified vulnerability duration is 2 seconds after enemy leaves the hotspot. Cooldown removed, but max simultaneous snares active at a time now limited to 2. Duration increased to 8 seconds. Base cost reduced to 20. So, a lot of changes coming for Jungle Snare. We've got energy damage twice per second, immobilize in an area for 8 seconds, and apply vulnerability. The vulnerability lasts for 2 seconds. Yeah, I guess it reapplies every 2 seconds probably, and if they're not in the area, then, you know, if they run out of the area, then it's going to stay on them for 2 seconds, but then it's going to fall off. Now, if they're in the area, it's going to reapply every 2 seconds for 8 seconds, as long as they're in that area. Alright, then we've got Wrath of Bast, damage increased, spirit cost removed. That's this one, right? Yes. It's this great signature that I love this signature, but it, you know, its spirit cost was a little bit intense sometimes. The fact that it had a spirit cost, a lot of signatures, like I kind of wanted this one to get a spirit restore the same way Cap's shield, Captain America's something spirit or something like that, fighting spirit, and he jumps up in the air and throws his shield down and gets a huge spirit return. I wanted to see this one get that, but it has, you know, it hasn't gotten that, but it did get the spirit cost removed, so that's cool. It's also going to increase your melee damage, well, melee and ranged as well, giving you that damage rating buff there. Some nice burst damage. So that's going to help out with his spirit problems that I've had personally. Vibranium Trap gains 150% damage and an 8-second cooldown if used within 4 seconds of Panther Leap. Similar to Knockdown Sweep. This allows you to use it without a cooldown normally and leverage it as a burst damage cooldown as desired. Bomb timer is reduced to 1 second. Base cost increased to 20. So Vibranium Trap here. We can use Panther Leap. Let's do that right there. All right, so if we jump in Panther Leap, then we can jump back out real quick with increased damage on that Vibranium Trap for some burst, or we can just backflip all day for a little bit of damage. Alright, cool. Yeah, I think I would probably use it most in a burst damage sense if I was to use this. I don't know if I'd use it. It's a pretty cool skill, but I don't really like skills like this one's a good one. Evasive throw and vibrate. Anything that moves me backwards, I find it difficult to use personally. Alright, Dora Milaje, or I did the best I could. I think I actually got pretty close. But these guys, these summons, they will do some physical damage, and their damage now scales off of your own damage instead of being based on summon damage. They are no longer tagged as summons, and their damage will just be inherited off of your character's damage, which is pretty cool. Panther Grace, 10% damage negated after using melee power has been merged into Panther Soul. Always active, damage negation increased to 20%. Can I make these guys go away in any way? I don't think I can make them go away. No, I can't make them go away. Alright, well they're just gonna follow me forever. It's a good thing we're almost through the list. Panther Soul, always active, damage negation increased to 20%. Right. Panther Grace, instead of 10% damage negated, it's now 20%. It's going to make him a lot more tanky than he was before. That is awesome. And yeah, I believe that is going to be it for Black Panther here. That is all of his changes. So let's go ahead and have a look at Winter Soldier. Just a quick touch, Cable and Gambit will be getting minor damage increases for a couple of their abilities. Cable, his no spec Veteran Warrior bonus will go up by 5%. He'll also get a little bit of damage rating, crit hit rating, and crit damage rating bonuses for Veteran Warrior itself, making that a little bit stronger. Gambit will be getting base damage increases for his Grand Slam and his Ace of Spades. Winter Soldier, somewhere here. Oh, he's down at the bottom because he has a W. Alright, Winter Soldier, his changes are a little bit more extensive than Cable and Gambit, but not quite as extensive as Black Panther. Relentless Pursuit, Spirit on critical hit now scales with additional ranks. Health on critical hit added. That's this one right here. So you're going to get that a little bit more Spirit Restore on hit and a whole lot more Health Restore on hit. It's going to make him a lot more survivable. Very nice. This is going to help my Winter Soldier a lot personally. Then we've got Dispatch. The animation time has been reduced. Dispatch being his melee skill over here, I believe. Yeah, his melee. Do I have a melee spec? Here, let's just do this real quick. Activate that. Alright.
Another one for the arsenal.
So now you're just going to quickly Quickly slash. That's real. That's real nice. I feel like I like that red slash. I don't know if that's new, if that's a new visual upgrade or what in this patch, but that's cool. I've never noticed it before. All right, knife animation. Animation time or knife throw. Animation time reduced. Base projectile speed increased. Bionic projectile speed remains the same. So that one's this one. Now, it said, okay, gotcha. Bionic throw, knife travels 50%, 25% faster and stuns the target. So the bionic throw will remain the same. Oh, that's a whole lot cleaner than it used to be. The animation time being sped up is going to make this a much more usable power. Because you just toss that knife real quick. Alright, very nice. Reposition new arsenal effect. Your unseen death will be granted the critical hit. Automatically critical hit after... Here, let me just pull them out. Unseen death is not that skill. It's this one right here. And it now has a... There we go, reposition. If you use reposition, then your next unseen death, which is your sniper, will automatically critical hit. So we do this, and boom. And that, wait, that didn't work. Hold on. Oh, it's an arsenal effect. It's an enhanced arsenal effect. So you actually have to be spec'd into enhanced arsenal here. Let me, okay, that's a bionic. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, reposition and always crit with that skill. As long as you have that enhanced arsenal passive. In bionics, it will not be affected if you don't have either of these passives. Honestly, I think you've spec'd your Winter Soldier wrong, but you won't have that either. You won't be having that automatic crit there. Alright, then we've got the reposition new arsenal effect. Your next unseen death will be granted that yeah, reposition, good. Okay. Covered that. Shoulder check, new bionic effect, gain electric charge 3 times faster than with other powers. So in bionic, shoulder check here. Let's see, do I have shoulder check on my bar? No, I don't think I do. Alright, here we go. So this dash here, this will gain bionic charge, which is used to use your EMP surge. It's been a little while since I've played Winter Soldier, so I'm still kind of relearning this. But bionic charge will gain that charge a lot quicker. That'll be really cool, actually. Going through Midtown, just charging through, and then boom, fire off an EMP blast. Charge 4 times, EMP blast. I don't know how that's going to work with a single target, but for AoE clear, it's going to be real nice. Then we've got Enhanced Bionics. Damage rating after using a firearm's power increased to match Enhanced Arsenal. So now you're just going to have more bonus damage from Bionics. Basically, melee spec is going to do more damage overall. Yep. Underslung Grenade and Explosive Sabotage. Vulnerability and Weaken have been swapped. So Underslung Grenade, right here, is going to apply Vulnerability. And Explosive Sabotage, right here, is going to apply Weaken. I like this skill a lot. This Explosive Sabotage, because you can use it while you're invisible. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and now it's not even going to apply vulnerability. Instead, you'll be using Underslung Grenade for your vulnerability application. And it also has that dot on it. This might... I might have to redo my build and put Underslung Grenade in, because Underslung Grenade damage over time effect is now part of the base power and does not require enhanced arsenal. That's going to be pretty cool. So you might actually use Underslung Grenade in a melee build with enhanced bionics, because you'll be able to apply that dot with it. And then EMP Surge now deals 25% more damage to enemies directly in front of Winter Soldier. So anything directly in the blast range of EMP Surge. Let's get some stuff up for that. Alright, you'll notice this target, and this target take more damage than the side targets, I guess. Let's see. Anything probably within that. Yeah. Like this guy, I brooted him, but these guys took more damage without the brute, probably. So that's pretty cool. And that is, I believe, all the changes. There are some bug fixes, and I will include in the description for this video a link to the full patch notes if you want to read through them or refer back to them. I hope you guys have enjoyed this look at what's changing in today's Marvel Heroes patch. Just to recap, boss artifacts and maybe uniques. Artifacts and uniques for bosses are getting increased drop chances. Luke Cage getting some new uniques. And then tuning for Black Panther and Winter Soldier. And then some small damage upgrades for Cable and Gambit. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video. Until then, take it easy. Have a good one. Peace.